Hello everybody and welcome back to Odin's Movie Blog. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well. And today I first want to start off by thanking every single person that is a member of my Patreon page, though I did just get an email from them that for my $5 and up tiers, I can no longer offer giveaways as one of the perks. Apparently it violates terms and conditions. So I'm going to talk about that a lot more on the live stream tonight about what we're going to do going forward. The giveaway that is currently live for the 4K edition of Blade Runner 2049 and also Blade Runner The Final Cut. Those are still going to happen because it's already been opened, and I'm not just going to randomly close that when people have already entered in for it. But anyway, if you do want to be eligible for that, if you want to be eligible for that today, or also if you want to really be eligible for future giveaways, I recommend going over to my Subscribe Star page because they don't have that in their terms and condition. And also you become eligible immediately when you sign up instead of having to wait for the beginning of next month. But anyway, I want to talk a little bit today about some of the news that came out of Comic-Con. So obviously you guys know my opinions on the MCU slate going forward and how I really do think we're entering into phase woke. And people have been kind of pointing out saying, oh, you're just not happy because of a female Thor and, oh, it was in the comics and that's going to be my main defense. Well, the bigger problem with that specific critique is that, well, the comics didn't introduce female Thor until 2014. And then in 2014, that was when Disney owned the comics. So Disney implemented that change, not organically by the comic book industry. And so that's the reason why if it's woke then, which it was woke at the time, again, Gary over Nerdrotic worked in the comic store and actually was selling his comic store when that stuff was going on. If it's woke then, it's woke now. One thing, though, that some people might try and say, okay, this could be woke, this could not be woke, is the announcement that we're going to get a Blade movie. Now, I personally am a fan of the original Blade movie with Wesley Snipes, and in my opinion, I think that Wesley Snipes is the only person that I really want to see in this role, especially if it's going to be something done by Disney. I think that Mahershala Ali is a great talent. I think he's a fantastic actor, and I think that he'll be able to bring a lot to the role. But it's not him that I have the problem with. It's the writing and the direction that Marvel wants to take its characters. That, I think, is going to lead to the downfall of this character and lead to this character not being as awesome as he could be. Because I know that what they have in mind is we want to try and be as diverse as possible, and that's going to be our main focus is diversity. And that's my problem. Diversity for the sake of diversity is not a good thing. If you're going to say to yourself, I'm going to make a bunch of movies, and every single movie is going to have some element of representation in it, and that's going to be my primary focus, that's not a good thing. What is a good thing is when you say, I'm going to make a great story, and these are the characters that I have in mind, and here's how they're going to connect. You see how there's a difference there between I want to make a good story with great characters versus, well, we need to have representation now. How are we going to bring that representation? And then, oh, now we're going to build a story around the representation. We've seen that that's what they've been doing. I mean, because obviously if they cared so much about trying to have a female hero, they would not have gone out of the way to choose Captain Marvel, which has been a failure in the comics and will continue to be a failure in the movies once Captain Marvel 2 comes around. Of course, they could easily try and say, oh, we're going to try and make sure it's next to the next Avengers film so that way it can be propped up again just like the last film was. But you can tell that that was obviously an attempt by them to try and go diverse, to try to go woke, instead of actually telling a good story. If they really cared about having a strong female character, then they would have done it organically with Black Widow. But did they do that? No. They decided to bring in Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, which has been a complete utter failure in the comics. And that has, of course, led to just the complete nonsense that we got from that film. That's what I'm worried about here with Blade. It's not because it's Blade. It's not because even of the actor Mahershala Ali, because I really do like him as an actor, and I think that he's one of the most talented men working in Hollywood today. The reason why I have a major problem with this is because I do not trust the people behind the camera. I don't trust Kevin Feige now at this point because it's obvious that he is now going full bore, jumping completely on the woke train, which is why this is really phase woke and not phase 4, and that's the reason why I'm currently worried about this film. So anyway, this is from Bounding on the Comics. It says, during Marvel's Hall H presentation at San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios head Kevin Feige alluded to a number of titles he didn't have time to talk about, namely the sequels to other films from the MCU, for example, Guardians 3, Black Panther 2, Captain Marvel 2, but the last-minute appearance of a certain actor in the title for a certain film got everyone in San Diego Comic-Con, and of course that was Mahershala Ali stepping on stage, winning, putting on the hat, and then of course Blade coming up on the big screen. But is it going to be good or is it not going to be good? And also, even more so, does it make sense to have Mahershala Ali on screen when he's already been featured in another Marvel property as another Marvel character? Now, obviously, I don't think it's totally out of the blue. I don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility to have actors come back. I mean, just look at Peter Capaldi for Doctor Who. He was actually a other character. He was a supporting character in one of the episodes in the season before he became the Doctor. So it's something that's been done before and while probably will continue to be done, but does that really make sense? And also, are they choosing him because he's a great actor, or are they choosing him because they know that they'll be able to use him as an actor to convey certain messages and to push characters in certain directions? And what are y'all's thoughts about this? Because I honestly want to know, for those that are more hardcore Blade fans than I am, because again, as I said, I like the original film, have not seen the others. And obviously, I'm a fan of Wesley Snipes because of that reason, despite all of his other grievances and despite all of his other misdeeds. But all that being said, are you excited for this film? Do you think that this film is going to be good, or do you think it's going to be woke? And keep in mind, I'm not saying that it's going to be woke because of the casting or because of the color of the skin of the person on screen. I think that the wokeness comes more from the fact that this story is easily going to be one that they're going to try and push in that diversity direction for the sake of diversity, not for the sake of good storytelling. We've already seen what kind of movies we get when they do that, and I'm worried that they're going to do that again now with this film and with this character, which is a much better character, a much more appreciated character, and also a much more popular character than a previous attempt in Captain Marvel. I would love to hear your thoughts about all these things in the comments below. If you like this video, smash the like button, give me a thumbs up, give me a subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. I'll see you guys for the live stream tonight, but also, guys, remember, Patreon will be undergoing some changes because of the fact that I cannot do giveaways anymore for the channel. Even though it was kind of an extra bonus and not a key feature, apparently that's not good enough for them. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless.